Hello guys, I hope you're all doing great. I now move to another term in the glossary that I've been covering in recent videos, and that is the term adaptation. Adaptation. I unlike a lot of the terms that I have been clarifying lately. Adaptation seems more intuitively understandable, graspable, right? But we still need to talk about adaptation, and you're going to understand why in a second. It's also going to link up with all the other terms that we have explored, the symbol, the fantasies, the ciphers, the signs. It's also linking with individuation or spiritualization. It's linking with language. It's linking with judgment and perception, bringing us back to the notion of function, right? The notion of a Jungian function. So before I move on, just at the link right below, the link below, there is my Patreon page, and I'd be very, very grateful if you considered supporting me on Patreon. I need your support more than ever. I've mentioned this regularly. These are not easy times, and to continue with my research, it's such a cheap entry price. It's only like $3 or $4 a month. It's like $30 or $40 a year for all like a massive amount of content in the library of deep dive exclusive videos for patrons and the Discord server. So please consider supporting me on Patreon. Helps me a lot, and you get cool perks. Now, adaptation is nothing less than using your reality testing to be able to function in the world and have what looks like a normal life, right? You have a job, you have housing, you're relatively independent, hopefully you also are in a relationship, and you're able to live as an adult, function in society, function in the external world. Adaptation is not about your internal world, at least not directly. It's about the external world. And that's why adaptation can be a challenge for anti-dominance, because I've been very interested in anti-dominance, as you know. Well, adaptation is a challenge because anti-dominants are kind of pure creatures of perception in many ways, right? And adaptation is not about perception in the first instance, right? Of course, it's about extrovert perception. You need to be able to engage with the world, but the proper dimension of adaptation is in judgment. Is okay, what do I do with all these perceptions? What do I do with this embodiment? How do I organize my life so that I'm adapted? So it's really about the functions of judgment, the functions of the superego. Both extroverted judgment and introverted judgment, because sometimes people are tempted to think that it's mostly extroverted judgment, FE and TE, that are more about adaptation, but TI and FI are also functions of judgment and functions of adaptation. They are compass functions next to the functions of extroverted judgment, which you might liken more to executive functions. Compass and execution are linked, and they're rational. But it's true that just in the same way as adaptation can be threatened by being too wrapped up in your NI world, right? So almost like something like the illusion of individuation becoming like the failure of adaptation, as in solipsism. You can also get what we might call neuroses of over-adaptation, which are the false selves of over-compliance, where in the name of adaptation, the person forgets themselves and ironically ends up adapting not so well. Because as it turns out, yes, adaptation is indirectly linked to individuation or spiritualization, in the sense that you can never better adapt than when you are fully yourself, organizing your life according to your own blueprints in the world. But there's often a temptation towards pure autonomy, which is an illusion and ends up in solipsism, or pure adaptation, which is also an illusion and ends up in compliance. And so adaptation is really about the balance, how to calibrate your life so that you can organize your life and pursue projects while, this is a strong draft to wind, while honoring your inner self, honoring what makes your ciphers reverberate, honoring honoring your web of fantasies. Make it so that acting on the pressure of your fantasies, you act in a way that furthers your adaptation. That is to say, creative agency rather than just creativity, and rather than just agency. Creative agency, the transcendent function, creative fantasy, these are Jungian terms, and they all bring us back to the genius of Jung that always reminded us that there can be no true and complete adaptation without spiritualization, that is to say, without individuation. Okay? So yes, the goal is adaptation, but what we might call thick adaptation or full adaptation, rather than thin adaptation or skinny or meager adaptation. And that's what I will be aiming for also in my book. Okay guys, speaking of books, I just want to let you know that I've written 2 books on this beautiful type called the INFJ type. The first one is the Ecstatic Soul, and you look at the INFJ personality, you can check it out at the links below. It's all about the INFJ's internal world, thoughts, feelings, beliefs, values, and all that. And the sequel, that is also an important read for a deep understanding of this beautiful type, the Infinite Soul, INFJ Life in the Modern World, which is all about the INFJ in the external world, internal and external, how to find meaning, purpose, and value in a world that INFJs often find hostile. This book is also very valuable to INTJs and other types. These are 2 very important books if you want a deep understanding, a depth psychological understanding of the type. And don't forget my upcoming book on NI, which is going to be my best book. I'm happy to announce it. Okay, thank you for your attention, guys. See you soon.